Okay.
She wants us to have you guys basically look at what we're supposed to do and see if we kind of did that.
Okay. Who's your teacher?
Her name's Addie. It's okay, she doesn't even show up to class half the time.
Oh, that's good.
So, just trying to make you guys do the work. It's okay.
All right. Well, let's check it out.
So, let's see. So this is like the assignment.
Okay.
And so it's it's like a proposal for it's supposed to be like an 18-page paper. At the end of the and so we're supposed to do these 3 things.
Okay.
And this is like an example.
Okay. So justification.
And this is the one that I didn't quite understand based off the example. They didn't really align.
Right. Okay, so why you chose that topic basically, right?
Yeah.
And then the research review, so like basically just kind of what you're going to do with your research or that type of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then your outline. What do you think the research is about and how it fits in with existing research? Okay, so what topic did you choose?
I'm going to do like the correlation between obesity and stress.
Okay, interesting. Okay, so you're most worried about, you said justification?
Yeah.
This first part?
In the example, it kind of summarized what they were going to talk about, but that doesn't, but the assignment doesn't really say that.
Right.
Like, down here, it's kind of dumb, but it's about Frodo.
Right.
And stuff like that, but in the assignment, it doesn't really say that you're supposed to do that, so I'm kind of confused.
Right. What I'm getting out of it, basically, all that I'm getting out of the example in this first paragraph is that, they're saying, I think this is really interesting, but it's not it's a topic, yours is, more researchy, and this is, more, fun, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to, compare the two. But an 18-page paper, that's really long, because this is 102, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Michelle, did you have to write an 18-page paper in 102?
No, I had to hold back classes.
Did you? Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, she's crazy.
Okay. Yeah, I don't even have to write 18-page papers now. So.
And you're an English major?
Yeah, English education, so I take a lot of English classes, and I think the most I have to write this semester is 10 pages, so.
Man.
Okay, well, let's just look and see what you've got then.
Okay.
Have you been to the Writing Center before?
Once or twice.
Okay,
Just
did
to,
they have...
get editing.
Right, did they have you read it out loud?
Yes.
Okay, do you want to just do that with this first paragraph, and then we'll look at it and see if we can kind of fill out some of the justification.
And then this paragraph right here is I was gonna summarize it kind of like the example, but I'm still not sure if I'm supposed to do that.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so the potential topic of my research is the correlation between obesity and stress. Intertwined in this topic will be information on the impact of food addiction on the correlation between obesity and stress. I'm not completely set on my thesis, but I do have a general idea for the thesis. There are numerous different causes of obesity. One in particular seems to have a significantly predominant impact: stress. As a collegiate athlete, I have a different perspective when it comes to eating the right amounts of food, types, and necessary exercise, as opposed to someone who is uninformed of the right foods necessary and the appropriate amount of exercise.
Okay, let's stop there. So your thesis, I just lost it. Where do we go? Okay. Numerous different causes of obesity, but one in particular seems to be stress. Okay, so, yeah, I like that because you're going to talk specifically about stress. Just make sure, your thesis should be something that somebody can disagree with.
Okay.
So, maybe instead of, one in particular, but, you could say, one, what do you think that, would make it less assertive and more, not opinionated, because we don't want to make it your opinion, but, one that causes more, or, one that could cause higher rates of obesity than others, or something that just so somebody else can disagree with it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So, because I feel like if you put one in particular seems to have a significantly, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess it could be, but just make sure it's something that's arguable. But like you said, this is a tentative thesis, so it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, so that's just basically the exact same thing they did. Here's the thesis. Here's what I'm going to do. The only thing they did more, I think, was kind of summarize or here's what it is. So let's keep going.
This is just an example of what I was thinking of maybe putting in. A reoccurring theme in the diagnosis of addiction is the development of psychiatric disorders prior to the addiction. And then I probably add a little bit more about what I'm going to write about.
Yep,
there.
I think that would be wise to keep going with that. Yeah.
And then I have a question. On this citation, it's MLA. And if you have multiple authors, do you put all three? Okay.
You just put, I think 3, Michelle, is that right? 3 is the most you put in the citation, and then you put like at whatever. Okay. So yeah, if there's more than 3, then you stop after the first 3. But
you just put the first 3.
Yep.
Cool. I believe for this research paper in which I intend to represent information about the correlation between obesity and stress, my fellow peers, the institution, and people in this academic field will be informed of this correlation and can use this knowledge to help diminish the extent of which obesity affects people.
Okay, and I like that because I feel like that helps more with the justification. Like, here's why I want to write this, right?
Okay.
Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Okay. And does she have that in this at all? I mean, I don't know.
Most of like this stuff is just talking about Frodo.
Yeah, to me that almost seems more of like the outline type of thing.
Yeah, it didn't really, I feel like, align with the assignment proposal.
Yeah,
So.
I see what you're saying, but I think that's a good part for justification.
Okay. Okay, so then the next part.
Which part is that one?
It's the review, maybe?
Research review. Okay.
Through extensive research, I've discovered that a multitude of scholars have also found a correlation between obesity and stress. In fact, many scholars have actually found the causation of obesity to be stress. I plan on using these professionals' previous work and research to delve deeper into this relationship between obesity and stress and inform the public of the role food addiction plays into this relationship. A number of these scholars include the following. I don't know how to say those names.
Yep.
And then it just goes into like different citations.
Okay. And then so you have like the citations in there, right? Yeah, just like they do. And so then it tells you where you're getting them. Does she have like a specific amount of citations you need for this? Or like sources? She didn't say? Okay. I'm sure, well, I don't know. When I observed in my, like, just the high school classroom, they said like per page, like, you should have one, like, so if it's an 18-page paper, you should have like roughly 18 sources, which is a lot. So, and you'll keep digging in, but obviously you don't necessarily need that many. If she says you need 5, then you need 5, but just as like a...
Yeah, I feel like I probably need about 5 maybe.
Yeah, just to get all the information for 18 pages.
Yeah.
Okay, so how many are we working with now? Just starting just a couple?
We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So that's good. Yeah.
And then, is this the right spacing for these citations?
Like for the hanging indent right here?
Yeah, but like the spacing, like what? It's supposed to be double spaced.
Whatever your paper is supposed to be is how you keep it, unless your teacher tells you otherwise.
Okay.
But yep, in MLA it's just the same. Yes. And those are all, did you get those all off of, like, do you have to use scholarly sources, do you know, or can you use them off of Google too?
We have to use like scholarly journals.
Okay, so you did them like all off of like local search or like the databases. Perfect.
And then
The next part is the outline.
And the outline is kind of weird. Like the assignment, it was not like a normal outline of the paper.
Yeah, because like usually when you like I'm thinking like, you know, the numbers
points,
and Roman
stuff like
numerals.
that.
Yeah. So what does she want with this? The
Just kinda
methods.
Yeah, it's like how you're gonna write the paper.
Interesting. This almost goes back into like the outline. Like here's how I'm going to use the sources.
That's what it kind of.
It almost seems like you're doing like an annotated bibliography, but like this is your annotation.
Yeah, and what's ironic is we are doing an annotated bibliography.
Oh, you are? So you're basically like doing it twice.
Yeah.
I guess you'll be
It's
really good at it.
It's a special class.
So like here's what I want to do. Have you guys had to do other papers so far?
Nope, we've literally done nothing. Like we do nothing, and then at the end of the paper, end of the class, we write a paper.
Oh, That's interesting.
Very.
Okay, interesting. Like, I really think it would be like any other research paper I've done, except I'm a lot more interested. Okay. Okay, so let's go through what you have.
Okay. I plan on approaching this research with the use of critical analysis, delving into previous research and extensive examination of sources and authors. In order to accomplish this, I will use one method in particular, the submersion into quality sources, experiments, and research previously performed by top scholars in the obesity field. I have read an abundance of articles in scholarly journals about the correlation of obesity and stress. I still need to locate a book or two and a few audio or video recordings that align with my research to demonstrate the credibility of my work through a couple other types of sources. In addition, I think it will be helpful to identify a few contradictory sources to help determine the validity of my research. If an opportunity arises for an interview, I may also implement one into my research. I may use an interlibrary loan or the public library to obtain any sources that are not found online. I have and intend to use resources, articles, databases, journals from the UK library articles. There will be, this is really stupid, but
It's okay.
there will be minimal monetary costs to this research. Printing expenditures are just about the only essential costs. I plan on using technology and resources found in the library, my personal laptop, and prior knowledge to complete my work. The amount of time required to finish this research is not yet known, but I do know it will take quite a bit of hard work and time.
Perfect. Okay, scroll back up for me for just 1 second. Is this something you guys have talked about, like this submersion into quality sources, experiments, and research? Have you guys talked about that in class? Or is it just like something that you're, is that what I'm talking about?
I don't think we
Clearly,
could.
I have read, okay, so you're just like, basically you're going to like submerge yourself into quality sources, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Just making sure I read it right. Okay, I think it looks like you're on the right track.
Okay.
Have you had to write a research paper before?
Yeah.
Yeah. How, like in high school?
Yeah.
Or what did you guys have to do for that?
We just did a normal outline and then we wrote it.
You just wrote it? Did you guys have to do like note cards or anything?
No.
No. That's something that like we've had to do before, and that helps when you're writing really long papers. If you find yourself struggling, like just putting down like little tidbits of information on note cards, and then you can take the note cards and order them, and basically you just have to copy them into, type them out into a paper,
Mm-hmm.
and put in some like transitions and fillers, and like you have your whole paper. So it really helps when you're researching, so then you don't have to like sit and like jot down little notes and then like try to organize it.
Okay.
That way you can just move them around. So
Okay.
that's something helpful if you find yourself, I know you guys, well, you guys' season's over, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're not traveling anymore.
Yeah,
So
no.
it won't be like as challenging, but that's just
Okay.
one thing that
Okay.
we like to do.
Cool.
So-
That sounds like a good idea. So then, just in the first one, just add some details about
I would
a
just
couple main points.
add in some details there, because that's like the justification part, right? So like really the details, I feel like, of what you're going to be talking about is like, I feel like it's kind of your outline, like here's what I'm going to talk about, but they really do have just like how are you going to do it. So it's not a typical outline. So since they put it up here, I do it there too. Just kind of talk about like here's like a couple main points that I want to talk about, and like maybe elaborate on them just a little bit, so that she knows like you've started your research and that you
Okay.
kind of know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But otherwise, I think you have what you need based on this.
Awesome.
So, do you need me to email your teacher or anything to say that you came in, or?
I don't know. She told us to come in. I don't know if you guys are supposed to email or if we're supposed to tell her we came in.
You tell me. It's totally your call.
I mean, might as well.
Okay, what's her name? You said.
Addie. A-D-D-Y.
Is that her first name or her last name?
her last name?
All right.
I can look up her email so you don't have.